Hey, Gary, this is Kirk Cameron. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You know what? We've really been excited about the fact that you're coming to town. Let me first give all of our listeners an idea as to what's going on. You're going to be in Shreveport next Friday, October the 16th, 3 hours. Is this you talking solid for 3 hours?
Oh, boy, that would be terrible. No, it's not me talking for 3 hours. This is if you saw the movie Fireproof.
Yeah.
That great movie about marriage. Imagine that you take that and expand it to a live experience with music and personal stories and teaching about marriage and clips from the movie. And it's a date night for you and your spouse to laugh together, pray together, sing together, learn together, all about the most important relationship you have on the planet.
Amen. Well, that's going to be at 7 o'clock next Friday night at the Summer Grove Baptist Church. And you know what? It got me to thinking, about my own marriage and stuff like that. What's the dumbest fight you ever had with your wife?
Dumbest fight I ever had? Boy, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I've done so many dumb things. But, maybe just saying on public radio some of the dumb things that we've thought about might get me into the dumbest fight ever. So I got to be careful.
Well, I don't know if you know what's going on. You are coming into a hotbed of Christian value versus ACLU of late. We've had an issue at our airline high school in Bossier City with the principal. God love him. He said, "May God bless you all," on an email that went out to everyone within the database, and the FCA had religious symbols on their prayer boxes in the school, and the ACLU said you can't do that. Well, we had a huge prayer rally this past Saturday, and the Bossier Parish School Board has said, you know what, we're not going to back down. We're not going to condemn what this principal has done. We're going to evoke our First Amendment rights and the fact that kids can pray in school as long as it isn't a disruption to the school. Any advice, because I'm sure that you've seen battles like this across the country, any advice for our school board as they stand strong and hold fast to their Christian value?
Yeah, well, my boy, you light a fire when you talk with me about these things because I so value our Christian heritage in this country. And the truth is that their anti-God atheist agenda is way out of line in a country like the United States of America that was founded on Christian documents and Christian principles.
Right.
It's actually our Christian documents and principles and our prayers that have resulted in the blessing that actually allows atheists and people of other faiths to live here without being persecuted.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go live in an atheist country or an anti-God country or a country with a different God, go try living there and see how you like it. It might be a better place for you to live.
Amen.
But as for the United States of America, we have founders, and I did a whole documentary about our forefathers who came over here for the sole purpose of advancing the Christian faith. So, don't even get me started with this. I mean, when we begin to forget God and choose not to build our nation and our churches and our families and our personal lives around the God of the Bible, there will be another God that will rush right in and take his place. And that's what Romans 1 is all about, and that starts the downfall of nations. And so we don't want to get there. I don't want to get there. That's why I'm coming with what we're fighting for. I want godly families, godly marriages to produce godly kids who grow up and make statements and stands like your principal.
Yeah. If you could go back in time, we discussed this on the radio yesterday. Back to the Future, the movie celebrating its 30th anniversary here in the next couple of weeks. If you could go back in time and you could tell Kirk Cameron one thing, and it might be as recently as a week ago, or it might have been when you were 10 years old and a child star. What would you tell Kirk back then?
Man, second question where you just got me thinking. See,
you're not supposed to think this early, huh?
I know. I haven't even had my morning cup of coffee yet.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you were a coffee, apple juice, or a Dr. Pepper kind of guy.
Man, not only am I a coffee guy, I'm actually starting a coffee line right now, and I have a French press that is brewing my coffee on my desk as we speak.
Well, you could bring a little of that with you when you come this way. Disc jockeys are poor. We enjoy free gifts and things like that.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So some good coffee would be a great gift for you.
Were you a Christian already when you were on Growing Pains?
No, I was not. I actually grew up in a home where we didn't. I'm trying to see how to word it. We didn't go to church. We had no faith in God. It was not something we ever talked about. In fact, I was a professing atheist up until high school. Mm-hmm. And when I was about 18 years old, someone took me to church, and that's when I heard the gospel for the first time, and it got me thinking and asking lots of questions about just about life, about where we came from, where we're going, religion, politics, philosophy, history, science, all that, and eventually led me to the conclusion that Jesus Christ is Lord, and I want to follow him, and he's going to be the one who saves me on the day of judgment.
Wow. So if you could go back in time, probably that was the most important message that you could have ever given yourself.
Oh, for sure. I'm so thankful that God in his providence arranged things so that I would meet someone who invited me to church, that cared enough to share the gospel with me and answer my questions.
Yeah.
That led me to every other blessing that I've experienced in life.
When you're advising couples with love worth fighting for, what's the biggest common mistake that you see us making in our marriage?
This is kind of funny, right? Like you're asking me this like I'm Dr. Phil or something. I'm just the guy in Fireproof, and I've had to learn a lot over 24 years of being married. So I'm by no means the expert, but I've seen the Fireproof scenario play out over and over with friends and family. Uh-huh. And when relationships go selfish, they go bad. They head south real fast.
Yeah.
And so if we want our marriages to get better over time, not bitter over time, we've got to go after this monster of selfishness. And it shows up everywhere. It shows up in you're arguing over finances and communication and trust issues and forgiveness and all these kinds of things. And all that stuff is you can get over just about anything if you're in partnership with God and you recognize that the biggest problem in your marriage is your selfishness. You can't fix selfishness in your spouse, but you can change it in you if you get in partnership with God. And that's a huge part of understanding how to make marriage or any relationship work.
When we leave the event that night, Love Worth Fighting For, when we leave, what are you hoping that we'll be feeling as we walk out of the building?
I'm hoping you'll be singing the Growing Pains theme song as you skip back to your car in the church parking lot. Listen, don't be surprised if you happen to have a sighting of Mike Seaver at the Love Worth Fighting For event, complete with a mullet wig and white Reeboks. It's actually, the word on the street is that Mike showed up at this event.
I was going to ask you that. Would you ever have a mullet again? Would that ever?
Oh, come to the Love Worth Fighting For event, bro. I'm telling you. When you leave the Love Worth Fighting For event, what I'm hoping you leave with is a renewed sense of value for your marriage, that it's something you want to fight for so that you get to the blessings and the victory on the other side of your battle.
Can you make sure that you guys pull my wife up really close, that she hears this message really good, because, she's married to me and God love her. That's a problem.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. That's right. So she needs to hear messages about grace and forgiveness and patience and long suffering, right?
Yeah.
Just to kind of help her through.
Exactly.
I get it. Well, I hope you come. We have so much fun. Like I said, it's a combination of music, of humor, personal stories, movie clips, and some deep biblical teaching on the subject of marriage.
Kirk Cameron, thank you so much for your time. In Shreveport, next Friday, October the 16th, 7 o'clock, Summer Grove Baptist Church. It's Love Worth Fighting For. Tickets from $20 to $50, depending on how close you need your wife to sit, right?
That's right. Depending on how close you want her to sit. And if you want to get the VIP ticket, you get in an hour and a half before everybody else with a wristband that puts you to the front of all the lines, and it gets you backstage to a private Q&A session with me to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, wow. That's like getting the Disney World Fast Pass, huh?
That's it. It's a Love We're Fighting For Fast Pass. Front of the line for the bathroom and for the book table.
Amen. Hey, thank you so much. And I want you to know that my church, First Baptist Houghton, is planning to show up in droves there at Summer Grove. And so, Sunday school classes all over, especially the young married classes are all planning to be there. And I want you to know the stand that you have taken in Hollywood and in the country. I want you to know how much we appreciate the fact that you've put your Christian value ahead of everything else, and you've been a real inspiration to all of us.
Well, hey, I appreciate the encouragement and the support. And like I said, everyone has to understand that there is no neutral zone anywhere in the universe. You either bow the knee to Jesus and blessing results for everyone, or you will bow the knee to the ACLU or somebody else who will fill the void with their own god of humanism or atheism, or you fill in the ism of your choice. So I see it as just, if we love God, we're going to obey his commands.